Good afternoon and welcome to the EY Graduate and Internship Opportunities webinar with Target Jobs. I am Sinead and I am going to be one of your hosts today for this session with about EY. Today you're going to be learning about EY, so learning about our processes, learning about the internship opportunities as well as our graduate programs, and you'll also have the opportunity to hear from our graduates and you'll be able to ask them questions. So I'm going to start with a welcome, which is I'll just introduce myself. So my name is Sinead Johnson and I am in the Student Talent Attraction and Acquisitions team. I am an advisor and I work in the campaign side of things. My particular area of expertise is all things experience, the EY Experience Day, which is our version of an assessment centre, which you might call it. So I'll hand over to my colleague Megan to introduce herself.
Hi everyone. Yeah, so I'm Megan. I also am a student talent attraction and acquisition advisor, but I'm on the operations side and specifically in assurance. And I've actually only been at EY for about 5 weeks now, so all still lots to learn from me, but yeah, really enjoying it so far.
And then Beth.
Hi everyone. Nice to see all your numbers pop up on the screen here. My name's Beth. I'm also a student talent attraction and advisor in the campaigns team, and my specialist areas is I'm in the Belfast office, so I manage all of the Belfast student recruitment. So if you are from Belfast, you'll definitely be seeing and hearing a lot of me in the next few months.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. So, just to go through the agenda for today, we're going to have an introduction to EY, which is going to start shortly. You'll find out who we are and what we do. So, some of you may have signed up to the webinar having an idea of one thing that we do, but we do quite a lot of things. So we're going to go into that. We'll talk about our service lines. I will also talk about our culture and diversity and inclusion, which is something that's very important to us here at EY. You'll then learn about the opportunities, so discover things about our programs and the opportunities that we have available. So we have a range of programs, whether you're in your first year of university, right the way through to your masters. And then we'll also go into a bit of detail about our application process and give you some opportunities to further understand how you can prepare and be the best that you need to be in order to waste our application process. So that's it from me. I'm now going to hand over to Beth.
Okay, guys. So as Sinead said, we are a huge company and we have so many opportunities and so many things that we do as an organization. So we're going to highlight just a few of those today to give you a bit of a background. So who are we? So we are really truly a global firm with over 300,000 employees based across the world. So that's across 700 offices, which is even growing as we speak, and over 150 countries. What is super exciting is that this number has grown considerably in the last 10 years, and we very much expect it to continue to do so in the future. So it's a really particularly exciting time to be part of EY. You one day could be part of the numbers on the screen, and that's definitely what we're hoping for today. So our people work with more than 200,000 clients across the globe, including some of the world's most iconic brands and exciting entrepreneurs, startup organizations, and government bodies. So our global firm is made up of three regions: the Americas, EMEA, and Asia Pacific. It's our ambition to deliver long-term value for clients, people, and society. So creating this value doesn't just help with today's challenges, it moves clients forward into the next wave of innovation and technological and social change. It does the same for our people. We really empower them to be intentional in their careers and seek out experiences that will shape them into transformative leaders. So we're all about you building up your most empowering career for yourself. The kind of leaders our world needs, leaders who are purpose driven to bring out the best in themselves and in others as well. So if we dive into these numbers a little bit deeper here, we had 3,000 new joiners last year, and 1,000 of these were students who joined us. So we're very passionate about our student talent. They're some of the best talent that we have in the organisation. These statistics just show how quickly we are expanding as a firm. And as I said, there's so many opportunities that we're going to highlight for you today. So we have 21 UK offices, and our offices are all very unique and range in size of colleagues. We have under 100 EY people in our Inverness office, up to 6,000 in one of our London offices. So they really do vary, but in each office that we have a really fantastic culture that we're going to cover today. We all work very closely together and our people collaborate across the UK regions quite regularly. So you do get a chance to make loads of kind of networks and friends as well. Some of our offices do have certain specialisms due to their locations and therefore the industry of their local clients. So, for example, our Aberdeen office has a major focus on oil and gas clients. However, across all of our locations, we have a real wide range of clients that you get to work with. So, you get to really build your expertise in loads of different areas. The UK firm is part of our EMEA region, which stands for Europe, Middle East, India, and Africa. So, what can you do as part of your being in our organisation here at EY? So, what we really look to do, we really want your ambition to be as bold as ours. We want to be leading the industry in everything that we do. So, helping digital pioneers fight data privacy, guiding governments through cash flow crisis, unlocking new medical treatments with data analytics, pursuing high quality audits to build trust in financial markets and businesses. So, everything that we do really makes a difference in the world, and it is all part of our building a better working world motto as well. So, a little bit more information about the industry experience that we can provide you here at EY. So, traditional industry boundaries are really being disrupted, as we've all seen, especially in the last couple of years, and sectors are really starting to adapt to technological and social changes. So, as we really reinvent how we work, live, and we play, EY is helping clients embrace industry disruption as an opportunity. So, everything that happens for us is something that we can build on and make better. Regardless of your service line, and we do have many, you choose, you'll have the opportunity to gain experience in one or many industries. So EY has differentially invested in an industry structure which is really unique among the big four. So with our global industry centres around the world. These centres serve as virtual hubs for sharing industry focused knowledge and experience. In addition to helping us better meet the needs of our clients and win in the market, this structure provides unique opportunities for our people to align their client experiences with their interests. Again, all about building a career path that's empowering for you. So, our financial services is a unique differentiator for EY. It focuses its client base on banking and capital markets, insurance, and wealth and asset management. It was formed to help ensure that we were providing an exceptional client service, short and long term, in an ever changing regulatory environment. So you can work in any EY service line and be a part of financial services. It just depends on your preference. As part of our government and public sector team, you'll help governments adopt new technology to create new ways of working with the aim of achieving better outcomes for citizens and better for government world. So you're really taking a role in kind of developing our future.
Thanks, Beth. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run through all the different service lines that we do offer. So as Sinead sort of touched on earlier, these are across graduate roles, industrial placements, summer internships. So hopefully these will give you a bit more of an insight into what, the different service lines do. So the first one is assurance. So assurance is serving the public interest by promoting trust and confidence in businesses and capital markets. So this is Chantel, who works in assurance and audit. So she says, I audit a variety of businesses ranging from privately held to FTSE 100 companies across numerous industries. I use the digital technology to help design substantive procedures and test transactions across financial accounts. Through this, I provide clients with the assurance that they need, delivering technological solutions to the challenges facing them. So then this is Sophie, who is an apprentice in tax technology and transformation. So she said, joining the apprenticeship has given her more experience than she could ever have imagined. She speaks to clients daily and uses new technologies to transform tax. Every day is unique and always an opportunity to learn. So tax is really supporting business decisions through insights on government policies, regulatory obligations and operations. So then moving on to consulting. So consulting is transforming businesses through the power of people, technology and innovation. So this is Aditha. So he says, I work with clients from various industries to assess and advise on their IT environment. As part of the technology risk team, I use technical and communication skills to work with clients to ensure that their IT processes and controls are well designed to mitigate the risks that can affect the business operations and financial reporting. And then strategy and transactions, which is another one of our service lines. So this is enabling clients to reimagine their ecosystems, reshape their portfolios, and reinvent themselves for a better future. So meet Emily, who is a business modelling and analytics graduate. And she said, I've worked on projects using new technologies and have been given all the support, resources, and training needed, so I'm confident in my work. And then finally, we have actuarial, which is transforming businesses through the power of people, technology, and innovation. So Niraj, he says, over the last year, I've been involved in our tech-led transformation team, where I coded a private blockchain network that automatically processes life insurance claim. I've also been involved in a wide range of actuarial specific projects, all while studying towards the actuarial qualification. So yeah, that is just a kind of an overview of all our different service lines. As ever, you can find all this information online, and there's lots of videos as well from graduates and apprentices who kind of speak about their experience and what all service lines means. And a bit later when we speak to our panel as well, you'll be able to ask some specific questions to them about the different service lines. So then just moving on to what else you can do at EY and what else EY sort of offers. So EY is really focuses on kind of not just who you are now, but also who you can become. So for us, the exceptional EY experience is really yours to build. So a couple of things that we do. So the first one is a tech MBA. So in collaboration with Holt International Business School, we offer an MBA program to all of our employees, and this is free of charge. So there is definitely endless opportunities, and I've definitely noticed that being here only a short amount of time, and there's always things you can do to kind of help improve, your career and what you can get involved with at EY. So the next is EY badges. So we find that our people earn digital badges in future focused skills, and this therefore helps them differentiate themselves and increase their market value. And this kind of goes from silver badges all the way to like gold badges. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity to learn and do extra. And then just passing back over to Beth.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Megan. I would definitely agree. I think when you come in and you see all the badges and there's so much opportunity, trying to just choose a couple to start with is the difficulty, really. So that perfectly kind of feeds into a part of our culture. So we are so proud of our culture here at EY. It's definitely something that really sets us apart. And that curiosity and learning is a big part of our culture, which is why we have our badge program. So it's definitely something that we love to see here at EY. But even more than that, we are very much about building a culture where you can really embrace who you are, a real culture of belonging and inclusion that we are very proud to support. So we want you to be empowered to use your voice to help others find theirs. We solve the toughest challenges together by valuing our differences and teaming inclusivity to build safety and trust. And that can be across culture, diversity, gender, LGBT plus and disabilities as well. And it's 100% something that I feel every single day anyway. And I think everyone really says the same. Part of what we do is we have our networks. But our networks are a really fantastic opportunity to build relationships with other people and also to really promote that culture and that culture of belonging as well. And really be the best version of yourself. So we might be a global organization on a really powerful scale, but when you are in our office, it doesn't feel like that. You will not feel like a number. You will feel like a very valued person. So you'll feel like you belong here. We have real flexibility and mentoring and better conversations to succeed. And that's a big part of who we are. We really want you to feel the power of our global commitment to diversity and inclusion that makes us stronger and enhances our agility in the face of challenges. So you can see here a number of the networks that we do have. And they are all fantastic, and you can be in every single network. And I said it's a real community and a real way to kind of engage with the organization and really build that better working world as well. So, some of these examples. So for LGBT plus, we're proud to be a leading voice on LGBT plus inclusion around the world. An example of the Partnership for Global LGBTI Equality, a first of its kind initiative, EY formed with 7 other leading organisations to work with the World Economic Forum Centre for New Economy and Society to enlist CEOs to implement the United Nations LGBTI standards. And we also actually have our LGBT plus awards at the minute on nominations happens, we will be having our awards ceremony. So it's something that we really bring into the organisation all year round as well. For neurodiversity, we launched the first EY Neurodiversity Centre of Excellence in 2016, which is just growing and getting bigger and better each year. We expected positive impacts for EY people and the EY brand, and after 9 months, we compared the work of a pilot team to a neurotypical one, and quality, efficiency, and productivity were comparable. But there was a surprise. The neurodiverse employees excelled at innovation. So today, we have landed a expanded to locations in Chicago, as well as Dallas, Nashville, Philadelphia, and San Jose, and soon hopefully around the world. Also, for disabilities, the World Health Organization estimates that 1 billion people in the world currently live with a disability. So that's 1 in 7 of us. EY focuses on how we and other organizations can promote both visible and non visible disability inclusion in the workplace. As someone with a disability, that is something that I feel every single day. I'm constantly empowered by all my surrounders, all my colleagues and senior managers, and it's one of the best things about EY. So if that's you on the call, it's something that I'm really proud to associate with EY and somewhere where you'll definitely feel comfortable. So I'm going to hand back over to Sinead now, and she'll tell you a little bit more about the process.
I'm on mute. Sorry, always do that. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about our graduate programs and our internships as well. So just to go for an overview about who these things would be perfect for, because I can see there's a few questions already about what can I apply for, what's for me. So our graduate program is for people who are in their final year of university. You're approaching your graduation. You're finishing this year and you'll think about getting into the world of work. Alternatively, you might have already graduated. You can have graduated up to 3 years before 3 years before the graduate scheme that you are on. Also, if you're a master's student, so if you're on a 2 years master's course or a 1 year master's course and you're due to finish soon, then the graduate program would also be for you. So they mostly start around September. So it's a great opportunity for you to kind of like finish university, have your summer, and then get straight into the world of work. So there are several different areas that you can join, and I won't read them out, but they are on the screen for you to have a look at. And they're either 2 or 3 year graduate schemes across the business, and you pick the one that you think is the one that you would like to go for. And what's really good about them is that all of our schemes are varied, and they're very interesting, and you'll meet clients across different sectors, and you'll be given responsibilities, and you'll also get to complete a fully paid professional qualification. So that's a really, really great thing, is that we put you through your paces, and you're working, but you're also learning at the same time. So you'll get time off to kind of like do your professional qualifications as well, and then you can, for some of them, you can be a chartered accountant within 3 years. And we also give you a competitive salary as well, and some other exciting benefits. The competitive salary does depend on the location that you are in, but those are some of the things that you do on the graduate program. So these are the teams that are available, sorry, on the graduate program. So assurance, tax, strategy and transactions, consulting, and actuarial. And you will have an opportunity to ask questions directly to our panel towards the end. So here are our different service lines and the sub-service lines that sit within them. So you've got assurance, consulting, actuarial, tax, strategy and transactions, and technology. So you would have seen from the slides that Megan went through that, technology is a real big focus across all of the service lines, but we have got a specific section of the business for technology. So I know somebody did ask about that. They've got it says that they had experience of like doing data science and which roles are right. Well, look at this screen. There are so many roles out there. It's not for me to tell you, it's for you to do some research and discover it for yourself, because there's so much out there. And I don't know what you're interested in, but look at this screen. So many different opportunities that you can kind of look at. So if you are not graduating and you're thinking, well, I'm not a graduate, what's out there for me? there is so much out there for you as well. So, unfortunately, the Discovery Y programs are now closed, and they will be taking place next week and the following week. But we do have we have Discovery Y, which is a 2-day program for students either in their first year of university or in their second year of a 4-year course. So, if you are on a 4-year course and you're in your first year, you can apply for our Discovery Y program next year. We've got Black Heritage in Business or Women in Business, and it's just an opportunity for you to find out more about EY and explore the options available to you. If you are in your second year of university, so second year of a 3-year course, or you are in your you're in your third year of a 4-year course, you can apply for the summer internship. Alternatively, if you are doing a 1 year's master's or you're taking gap year, you can apply for a summer internship. So if you're graduating this year and you're not really too sure what it is that you want to do at the moment, you're not sure if you want to go straight into the world of work or if you want to travel for a year, then this is an option for you as well. So the summer internship program. If you are doing a placement at university, we do offer industrial placements as well, and these are a year-long placement, and this is a part of your degree. And of course, as I just mentioned, we also have the graduate program as well. So just to kind of go into a little bit about the professional qualifications that are available. So the professional qualification you complete does depend on the business area, your graduate program and your location. So Beth will be able to tell you more about that, the program, the graduate professional qualifications in Belfast, for example. But your professional qualification is completed alongside your day job. So for sometimes your day job actually counts towards your role, your accreditation as well. So your day-to-day work will actually count towards the accreditation you get, which is fantastic. And you'll also be granted, in most cases, study days. So you'll be able to complete your work in the days that you're at work, but then you'll also have some days that are actually dedicated to study. So hopefully, that means that you're not kind of like bogged under and that you feel comfortable, separating your work and your studying time as well. And the level which you complete your qualification is dependent on your business area. And once you complete the graduate program, there can be some opportunities for you to pursue further qualifications as well. And as we mentioned before, there are lots of badges and other things as well. So like my colleague said, there's so much opportunity, so many opportunities for you to kind of expand yourself and really develop yourself while at EY. We've got the professional qualifications, but you've also got the badges as well. So it's fantastic. So we've got now. I'm going to hand over to Megan, and we're going to just go through the process of the graduate programs and also the summer internship programs and what that looks like. So we'll just start with looking at the application process for graduates.
Thanks, Sinead. So as you can see on the screen, there is a 5-step application process currently for graduates, and then also industrial and summer placements. There is a slight difference. So recently we've changed for assurance and tax. There is actually only a 3-step process now. So if you were interested in a graduate assurance program or a tax program, all you would be doing is the application form, the job simulation, and then a final interview. So we have shortened the process for those 2 service lines. And it might be in the future that we're looking to kind of shorten it for the others as well. But apart from those, for the rest of the graduate roles and industrial placements, I'm just going to run through each stage and I'll just give you a bit of information about what you can expect. So firstly, what we look for really, so we operate on an open access policy, which means we don't screen out applications on your academic performance alone. Having said this, we do ask you to be working towards an honours degree in any subject. Some programmes will require a subject relevant to the business area. And also have a minimum of a grade 4/C GCSE or equivalent in English language and maths, and 3 A levels or 5 hires or equivalent to be eligible to apply. If you are ever in doubt, then I would say to reach out to us. We're always happy to kind of, speak to you. I know a lot of the time, if it's that you have equivalent grades and you're not completely sure if they would be what we're looking for, definitely reach out, have a look on our website. There's lots of FAQs on there and links to kind of for you to be able to kind of convert those grades and see if you would be eligible. But I think it's always worth applying. So then, yeah, what we sort of look for based on your strengths. So you can see some of the words on the screen here. This is really what we look for throughout the process. As you can imagine, with EY being so popular, we have, such a high demand of candidates applying. So I think it's really important, throughout the process to really show your enthusiasm for EY, do your research. That's what we want to see, people who really genuinely do want to work at EY. So yeah, some of those on the screen are what we look for: somebody who is accountable, agile, in the know. So doing that research is always really important as well. Strong communicator, and this can be shown, through the application process by making sure there's no typos, making sure you're, I guess, putting your point across, but also showing that enthusiasm as well. So to start with, there would be an application form. So this is just kind of asking us asking you who you are, why you want to be part of EY. You'll also be able to input the kind of program you're looking to apply to and the location. And also, please be aware, we do actually only accept one application per candidate. So if you are looking to apply to a certain location, then just make sure you sort of thought about that ahead of applying. So the next would be online assessments. So what we kind of would advise here is to practice and then also check your technology. So with these online assessments, there would be kind of a range of multiple choice, a ranking exercise, and then a numerical reasoning test. You are able to practice, do a practice one before you actually go on to complete the proper one. So even when you log on, you will be able to do that practice one, which will definitely help. So we would definitely advise you to do that. And then the next would be a job simulation. So what you can expect from this is real work-based scenarios to explore different aspects of your potential role and how your individual strengths will fit at EY. So a lot of these questions will be timed as well, and you will answer them via video. So there'll be the questions will only be on the screen, and then you'll have to answer them on video. And then moving on, then if you are successful in these, you'll move on to EY Experience Day. So this will be a virtual event. You will engage with different peers, chat to our people, and take part in activities and assessments throughout the day. You'll be able to meet some of the partners as well, and they'll give you some details about their experience at EY. And then finally, you would be invited through to a final interview. So this again is a virtual meeting, and this is really where we're trying to see, your motivations for EY, for the program that you've applied to. You will also be asked to prepare and lead a discussion in advance on a kind of a topic of your choice. And then after this, like I said, there'll be a bit of a discussion about motivations, your strengths. So, I mean, my advice here would really be to, do that research, go and show that enthusiasm you have to EY. So yeah, just finally some top tips here then. So, as I mentioned just a moment ago, why EY? Really coming to us and, being able to explain that, show that enthusiasm, also show your strengths and how you think, you'd be a great member of the team and how you think you would fit in at EY. Also things like practicing those online assessments just to really better your chance at being successful and being able to move through to the next stage, and really doing that research as well, which would what you think will be beneficial for your role.
So
Then,
guys,
yeah.
I actually just wanted to pop in and just put a little bit of information about our Belfast office. So Belfast is slightly different in some aspects that have been covered on the call. Firstly, we do not offer actuary graduate roles in Belfast, but we do have plenty of others, especially in consulting and technology. So still definitely have a look. Also that your professional qualifications would be through Chartered Accounting Ireland. That would be the professional body that you would study through with us. And also for any Belfast roles, we don't have the job simulation step in our process. So we just have the online application, online tests, EYX, and then final interview. So just for any Belfast callers on here today. Thanks, Megan.
Okay, thank you very much. I've been trying to get through some questions on the chat box, but hopefully we'll be able to answer some of your questions during our panel discussion. So I'm pleased to welcome Alexandra, Mojia, Gabrielle and Ellie, who work across the business and are all are all graduates at the moment. Some of them have also done some of the internships as well. So there were some really good conversations that can be had here as well. So if I could ask you guys to come off mute and if you could just all introduce yourself. So we'll start with Alexandra.
Hi everyone, I'm Alexandra, and as it says on the screen here, I work in FS Tax, so that's like the financial services sector of the business. So it's split into insurance, wealth and asset management, and banking. And as a graduate, we kind of work in all three of these sectors, kind of get a feel for the clients that we like, and yeah, we reach out and kind of get involved in the projects that we want to get involved in. So really enjoying it currently. Nice to meet
Lovely.
everyone.
Thank you. And when did you start, Alexandra?
So I literally just started in September. So I went straight off to college for 6 weeks to do my TC exam, which is test of competence, which is the first out of the 3 levels for my chartered accountancy. So I did those exams, returned to the business in December, and I've just done my first tax audit season because I work in GDS, in GCR, so Global Compliance Reporting. So yeah, that was an experience definitely.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mojia, could you tell us a bit about yourself as well, please?
Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar. So I'm Moja. I'm working for the GPS audit. So it's UK government and public sector assurance, and my main job daily is to do audits for our clients, such as the local councils in England, NHS, universities we all know, and a range of clients that like pension funds. So it's quite exciting to be responsible for our taxpayers through my day-to-day jobs.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. And when did you start, Mojia?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry?
It's same as Alexandra. So I started in September, and I also spent 3 weeks in college first to finish accounting and assurance, and then I just got hands-on my first engagement with my clients, and learned through everything from my seniors in the engagements.
Lovely. It sounds like you two ladies already are very busy, which is great. So thank you for sharing that with us. Gabrielle, how about yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Gabrielle. So I'm working in FS Assurance and I'm doing the banking and capital markets. And basically, I came to EY from the Women in Business Discover EY program in 2019. And then from then, I was in the process to do the industrial placement. So I did that from 2019 to 2020. Then I went back to uni for 1 year and then I joined on the grad scheme in September 2021. So yeah.
Thank you very much. And Ellie, how about yourself?
Hey guys, so I'm Ellie. I actually started EY in September 2019. I joined the cybersecurity grad scheme, which is a part of tech consulting, and I just graduated the grad scheme September last year. So I've now been promoted to senior consultant. So yeah, happy to answer any questions about cyber or tech in general.
Lovely, thank you very much. So I'm going to start off with you, Gabrielle, because you've done the industrial placement program and now you're on the graduate scheme. Was there a huge jump for you in responsibility from one program to the next?
Yeah, I certainly say that. I think when I came in as an intern, because I didn't know if I'd be there for a long time. So I was kind of I was doing work, like they threw me in straight away. It was like I was a first year. But when you come back as a second year. So you've got that increase in responsibility, but bear in mind you've been in uni for a whole year. So January was a very big learning curve for me, I can say. But I think once I changed my mindset and thought, okay, although I'm making some mistakes, I can learn from any mistakes that I'm doing. It was easier for me to get through it, really, just knowing that every mistake is a learning opportunity.
Okay, lovely. So I've got a question here about what skills are expected from candidates. So I'll ask you that question, Alexandra. What skills do you think are expected from graduates?
So first thing to kind of is really important to say they don't expect you to come in as some kind of genius that knows all the technical stuff. That's definitely not what they're looking for. They just basically want someone who is willing to learn, is proactive, communicates clearly,
and to be honest, just makes the working environment enjoyable for the team. So they don't want someone who's going to be wake up early in the morning, just be moody with the team all morning and not willing to help out. So just kind of have a really positive attitude, get to know as many people as you can. And I think that's one of the main things about EY compared to talking to some of my friends who are in, say, other big four firms or like slightly smaller accountancy firms, is that it is really about kind of the culture. And for me, especially, I think there will be times when you have to work like slightly later than you expect, like when you think you would, or I don't know, that you might be under certain pressures, but the thing that kind of makes you stay is the fact that you know the people you're working with are like really supportive, and there's always someone that you can go to ask something.
Lovely, thank you. Can I just ask, Ellie, what did you study when you were at university?
So when I was at uni, I studied maths.
Okay.
So I did maths, and then I did a master's in theoretical physics, which is obviously not really anything to do with cyber. But on our cyber grad scheme, we take grads from any degree discipline. So we've got one of the guys who just joined did a degree in he did a master's in climate change. We've got a couple of biomedical science students. We've got people from all over. So to join cyber, at least, you do not need to be from sort of a STEM background. It could be anywhere.
And I would echo that in most of our graduate schemes, actually.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to have a background in anything specific, because we've got somebody called Rachel who's a humanities student, and she said, for a humanities student, how can we break into consulting at EY? Do you have any advice?
To be honest, I think just go for it. Well, with so when I sort of finished the grad scheme, I've started to help with the recruitment and stuff for our graduates. And it is really valuable to have all those different perspectives in one team. If you just had lots of people who'd studied cybersecurity in one team, you wouldn't get those personal and different experiences that you need to consider, because our clients are not all technical people. You need people from different backgrounds. So just go for it. Don't hesitate just because you think you don't have enough experience. So why not? What have you got to lose?
Absolutely. Moji, I was wondering, do you have any tips for people on how to ace the assessment process, for example?
Yeah, so as the slides just show us, so I think the first point is to do your research and try to do as much as you can. You don't have to be an expert during the assessment process, but you have to know what you will be doing if you got the job offer. And then the second, I think, based on our assessment tips, and EY will send you the email. You just kind of to practice the numerical test and that kind of job simulation test to do the full research of our corporate values as well. So keep that in mind, and then you will know how to make the right options in the assessment. And then the third one is to behave like the genuine you. You don't have to pretend to be somebody else, because we want to see your real personality during the assessment. So just be confident and be proactive.
That's fantastic advice. Like, on our website, we have got like lots of tips and tips and hints about like strengths-based stuff. So it's really important that you like read about the strengths that we are looking for at EY. And yeah, be yourself, bring your most authentic self, because we're interested in you. We don't want you to kind of think you have to be someone else to kind of join us. That's a really great advice. Thank you so much, Mojia. So Alexandra, what would you say has been the most difficult thing maybe about kind of joining us as a graduate now?
The most difficult thing. Okay, so probably having to juggle a lot of tasks at once and kind of being thrown in the deep end. I think it's like kind of a blessing and a curse, because obviously you learn really, really fast. So that's kind of the good thing. But then the bad side is that you have to, because I came from uni, going from uni where I had like all year to kind of just, let's be honest, like kind of mess about and just not really, like you had exams at the end of the year, but it's not like you're being constantly tested. To go from that to be having to juggle those different clients and having quite a lot of like responsibility early on, I think you just have to kind of switch yourself more into a kind of a formal attitude, because it's basically a big kind of, it makes you mature quickly, I think is what I'd say. Yeah.
So what has been your favourite thing on the flip side of working at EY?
I think that also would be one of my favorite things as well, though, is the fact that I was given so much so early on, and I wasn't kind of just sitting around like not really knowing what to do. And I have learned like so much. It almost feels like I haven't been here just from September. It feels like I've been here for like a year or something.
Lovely. And I'll extend that question out to you as well, Gabrielle. What's your favourite thing about working at EY?
I think the favorite thing is how open everyone is. I know everyone talks about the people and everything like that, but it's actually really true. Like you can reach out to people that aren't just in your rank, but are like managers, even partners, and they'll be so happy to have catch ups with you, to talk to you, give you advice and stuff. And I think that's just so good because they have so much experience that they can give to us. And even in the office, like we don't have a set place for all the partners just to sit, and we're not allowed in that room, but they're all hot desks. So you could be sitting next to a manager one day, you could be sitting next to an apprentice, the next day there's a partner there. So it's just a really good opportunity to talk to people in different levels of the business.
Lovely. And Ellie, how about yourself?
Sorry, I was just replying to one of the questions in the
Oh, it's
chat.
okay,
What's
it's
the
fine.
question?
So the question was, what's your favourite thing about working at EY?
Oh, the people. Honestly, the team are just so supportive of you, and everyone that you reach out to for help on very different things. So you don't sort of stay within your confined team. You go and reach out to different areas of the business if you need help from them. And everyone's just so nice, and they will help you, and they will, if they're not the right person, they'll direct you to the next person who they think might help. So yeah, it's a very generic
Lovely.
answer. I feel like everyone says that, but
No, but it's
it's
nice.
true.
It's really nice though, because if that's what's your favourite bit, that's your favourite bit. I think that's really lovely. Thank you. Moji, how about yourself? What's your favourite bit of working? What's your favourite thing about working for EY?
Yeah, I think so far it's like from my first day, I've been accredited lots of trust from the people from different levels, from my seniors to my peer group, or from partners to the managers. So I felt like I'm not a graduate. I just felt like I can take on the autonomy and the leadership on a range of things. And for example, I've been doing an audit engagement alone for like 1 week, whilst everybody else in the office was helping me out. And it's kind of like big learning curve for me. So I have to learn everything myself, whilst knowing how to reach out for the right people for help. Yeah. So I quite enjoy that bit. And our partners are like having one-to-one for all the first year graduates on a monthly basis. So yeah, there's no hierarchy you can find in the office. So that's the part I quite enjoy.
Lovely, thank you. Alexandra, you actually did the summer internship program with us. So you did Discovery Wide summer internship program. Have you got any words of wisdom to anybody who's thinking about applying for a summer internship? Maybe they're a second year at the moment, or in their first year, going to be applying next year. How they can stand out, not in the application, but actually when they come into the business if they're successful?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing is be confident, go up to people, don't worry about thinking, oh, they're too busy to speak to me. They should go up to them, say hi, introduce yourself, ask them what they do, what kind of projects they're involved in. People just really appreciate you kind of making yourself visible. Especially now when we're in kind of a hybrid working situation. I'd recommend kind of going into the office probably more frequently. I don't really know what the situation is. Is the internship online or?
No, so we are actually doing our summer internship. It's going to be a hybrid approach, which I'm sure you
Okay.
can attest is very much how we work anyway. I'm at home at the moment, and
Yes,
we're
am
not
I.
always in the office. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a hybrid approach.
Okay, then yeah, I would recommend, like, even though might say the minimum the 2 days a week, maybe go in 3-4 days a week, because especially when you first join, you need to be visible for them to ask you to do things. It's very hard to kind of, even though people are there, it's very hard to know they're there if you can't see them. So that would be kind of my main tip, I reckon.
Okay, that's a really good piece of advice, particularly for the internship program, because it is a short amount of time. So it is really good to kind of increase your visibility, and that is something that you can definitely do in the office if you're able to go in. So that's
Yeah.
great. And Gabrielle, you did the same thing. You did the industrial placement, but do you have any words of advice how people can stand out while they're on placement?
Yeah, I'd really say that throw yourself into it, because as a first year, people don't expect you to know anything. So they might just give you tasks which are relatively simple and stuff. It's easy just to do it and then just wait and for the next task. But I'd say really try and understand what you're doing, because when you come back as a second year, like they're going to expect you to know what you're doing. So one thing I did was like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this one task. I didn't really know what it was about, but I didn't really ask questions like I should have. And that's one thing that I think will help you stand out, because then your team will see that you're actually interested in doing the work, and they'll be open. Once you're open to learn more about it, they'll be open to teach you about it. So that's one thing I'd really advise. I wish I did that. So, yeah.
Lovely, thank you. Samantha said in her EYX day, so her EY experience day, she struggled with the group task. Is there anyone who can, on our panel, who would have any recommendations on how to prepare for a group activity for an assessment centre? It's a very good question. Thank you, Samantha. And it's open to anyone to answer.
I think you need to be very wary to whoever else in your group hear their opinions. You don't want to be quiet and say nothing, but you also don't want to be the person who's dictating what everyone does. You need to be open and honest with whoever else in your group and treat it like you're working in a team with them. So try and find that balance of being sort of not the loudest in the room, but also not the quietest, I think is sort of what would work best.
Okay, thank you. Any other advice for this student? I mean, from my perspective, I think that's fantastic advice. I think the group task does throw a lot of people off, and I think it is that balance of not saying too much, but also, not being too quiet. But make sure that you allocate yourself something that you're doing. So every single task needs a timekeeper and somebody that keeps them on task. That is equally as important as kind of sharing your perspective and ideas in the group task. Somebody's got to kind of make sure they're asking questions to other people. If there is somebody who's quiet in your group, likewise, ask that person a question, show that you're a collaborator. And I think those are the skills that we're looking for. When we're looking at strengths, that's one of the strengths that we're looking for, is people who are collaborative. So ensure that you give yourself a role in the group, and you're listening to people, but you're bringing people on board at the same time. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room, but you do need to ensure that you definitely speak. So that's something that you've got to be aware of. Somebody's asked the question, will not having done a summer internship lowering my chances of getting accepted onto the graduate scheme? So no. Moji, you didn't do a summer internship, did you? And you made it onto the graduate scheme. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I didn't do the summer internship. I just applied for the graduate scheme directly. And yeah, I just applied online and then passed through all the assessment step by step, and then always took the initiative to ask, to chase after the recruitment team, like, may I know the results of my last assessment? And then somebody would promptly reply to me, and then step by step, and then walk into assessment center, and then the final interview with the partner. And so I don't think there's any difference between, from my point of view, I think I just got on the job like quickly, like doing audit, even though I've got no background in it. And for example, after the college training of accounting and assurance with ACA, with ICAW, EY gave us around 2 weeks, mainly focusing on how to use the digital audit platforms and the philosophy and methodology behind the audit and our clients in the industry. So I think it's quite a smooth path for me to develop my skills with EY right after graduation, even without doing an internship. Yeah. So, and also I did my postgrad before. So if you are postgrad at the moment, also feel free to apply for our graduate schemes. You are welcome.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for such a lovely answer, Mojia. So yeah, you can apply for if you are a graduate, so you've already graduated, but you're doing a master's. Let's say your master's finishes in September, you've got like a you've got just 1 or 2 assignments to do, you can still apply for the graduate scheme that starts in September, because really you can use your summer to do what you need to do and start the graduate scheme and then just kind of join us. So you can do that. And yeah, it's not a disadvantage if you haven't done a placement before. We have a target of like 1,000. So you might have seen in the previous slide, there was 1,000 vacancies that we filled last year in our student programs. We don't have 1,000 interns, so we definitely need people to be applying for the graduate scheme, even if they haven't done an internship. So hopefully that shouldn't put you off. So Habe has a question for you directly, Alexandra. Is ACCA sufficient for getting into tax?
So we, as a graduate, we have to study the ACCA, and we're also studying the CCA, which is the Chartered Tax qualification, whatever the A stands for. And so it depends what you mean by that. Is in, to get on the grad scheme, you don't have to have any qualifications. We study those whilst we're on the scheme. But when we're now on the scheme, quite a lot of the seniors and above only have the ACCA anyway. They don't have the CTA. That's something new that they started last year. So my answer to that question would be yeah.
Lovely, thank you. Amir, you've asked, I'm a biology and marine biology graduate, and I'm very interested in sustainability, as many of my modules are connected with the preservation of environment and finding new ways of sustaining the future. Is there an applicable program for me? So yes, there is. We've actually launched EY Carbon. So if you do some research on EY Carbon, the roles aren't available just yet, but they are coming very soon. So keep an eye out for that. There's definitely going to be roles that are available in sustainability, definitely. So most recruitment cycles revolve around September graduates. Do EY have a program for January graduates? So we don't have a program for January graduates as such, but we did just have an intake last week actually. So we did have some April starters. So you can apply for programs and start a little bit early. So it's not just, we don't just have intakes in September, we also have intakes earlier as well. So you're able to kind of, if there's vacancies, you can apply for those as well. Just looking through, somebody says, how long does the app go? Somebody came off mute.
Sorry, Sinead, I was just going to say there's a question that's just asking, how's the work-life balance at EY, which I thought might be good to discuss. I don't know if, Ellie, do you want to answer that? Start with that one.
Yeah, sure. So I think when you come to consulting, the sort of everyone thinks, oh, you're going to be working forever. That's just not true. I think, yes, there can be times where the client requires you to do a bit more work on one specific day, but it's not like you're working crazy hours all the time. One piece of advice I would give for that is you really need to set boundaries, because you might be on one project and someone else might ask for your help, and someone else might ask for your help on different things. And if you keep saying, yes, I'll do it, then you're going to end up working later. So you need to be able to sort of have the confidence to set boundaries with people and say, oh, sorry, I don't have enough time in my schedule this week. Maybe this person can help you out instead. So there's definitely a way to manage it. Your managers, senior managers, your team are very accommodating, and they'll say, I understand that this was a bit of a reach for you, but thank you for putting the effort in on that specific day, So that's at least my personal experience. What about you guys?
Could I add to this? So
yeah, go ahead.
As a graduate, everyone in the firm has someone called a counsellor, which is basically someone who follows your career path with you, and you go to them about any kind of pastoral care things, or if you want to be involved in a project, all that kind of stuff. So if you do find that you are burning out, or you are just so overworked or overwhelmed, you would go to them and they would help you speak to the people on the different engagements and help you kind of manage that workload. So it's not like you're just left in the dark if you had said kind of yes to something that you're then going to be bundled with that for the next however many months. So there are people that you can talk to.
Thank you. Excellent. Any of our assurance girls want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll say definitely there are certain times, we can't lie, like there's certain times where the workload is a lot and it can be long hours, but definitely what Ellie said, like it's about setting boundaries, because there's always going to be work. So whether you worked from Monday to Sunday the whole month, there's still going to be work to do. So it's really important to give yourself the weekend, like to just not think about work, not think about audit, and then start again on Monday. Otherwise, you'll end up burning out and you'll end up working. It won't be the work that you're producing won't be as good as it could have been. So that's just the important thing. Really, just take care of yourself. If it's too much, speak to your manager, speak to your counselor. They're there to help. We're not there to just work us until like we become nothing. Like, we're there to help, and it's really important that you speak up if you need that help.
Lovely, thank you. That's a really good tips as well there, because we can attest to that in student. We're also very busy, but finding the balance, you know, setting yourself a deadline, say, okay, right, I'm going to log off at this time, and I'm going to either go take myself for a meal, or I'm going to go and just have that time. You know, set boundaries with yourself, because like Gabrielle said, there's always work to do. So you know that doesn't stop. You know, it's a global business. We're very busy, and the work is very rewarding. It's great work, but it doesn't mean that we should spend all our hours on it. So thank you very much for those answers. They were fantastic. So I don't think we've only got time for a few more questions, but I was wondering if anybody had Moji, you've probably went through the process most recent, as well as you, Ellie. How long did it take you to get through every single process to get onto the graduate scheme? Somebody's asked, like, how long does it take? Or how long did it take you personally? Because how long's a piece of string, right?
For me personally, only 2 months and a half, and including the Christmas holiday in between. So it should be only 2 months. And there's a tip for you guys. So if you feel like, why the system hasn't replied to me, why nobody replied to me, just feel free to email the recruitment team, and they will just go back to you immediately, probably the same day. They're quite efficient. Yeah.
Like, you come through to me, I'm like, whoa. Well, no, we do aim to respond back to people within a week at least, but you got very lucky, Moja, because but yeah, you can email us. There's a helpline as well, and we are there to help and give you that kind of the advice that you need. So if you've been waiting for a long time, you can email, and if we've got an answer for you, you'll get it. Ellie, how long did it take for you?
So I applied in like 2019, so it might not be as relevant. It was sort of different, but I applied in like the June, and then I had my offer by August.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's different. Don't take this. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's very true. It was 3 years ago. We'll discard that one. Things are a bit different now,
Ignore
but
me.
yeah. Well, yeah, but pre-pandemic, right? So yeah, things
Mhm.
were very different then. Thank you very much. Okay, so any other questions? I'm just conscious, Beth, Megan, have you seen any other questions that you think are worth kind of throwing out there? Because we've only got a couple of minutes left. I want to make sure we're asking the best questions.
I think a good one that I saw was how are you guys supported when you come into like your grad scheme or placement year? How do EY support you?
So I think Alexandra said earlier about the counsellor that you get to help you. So any other people, or any other points that you'd like to make on that one?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, sorry, go for it.
Thanks. So yeah, we get the counsellor, which is I think a manager kind of level, but we also get a buddy. I think it's a year above you, and that's like less formal. And you can just message them, just ask them about anything. Like my buddy was actually did a placement year too, so he was able to help me in that kind of stuff. And like when you just want someone to talk to, like the buddy's there to help you as well. So that is someone that I actually have quite a good relationship with my buddy. So that is really good.
Okay, thank you. I did see a question, but I've lost it. It's gone. Sorry. What is the school education requirement equivalent if I attend an American high school and I'm now in the uni in the UK? So if you are somebody who has studied overseas, you will need to kind of like convert your grades over to a system. So you'll need to get a transcript. But there's information on our website on what you need to do, and you can also call the helpline and they'll give you more advice on that. So we do take people from overseas, and if you've studied overseas, but we just need to kind of convert your grades over. So that's something that you just need to look into. I think that's it in terms of questions I can see for the panel. Oh, somebody's asked what type of anxiety support is offered. I don't know if Beth, you've got any idea about that.
Yeah, so we actually have, so in terms of anxiety, it's something again because we have a real kind of culture of inclusion and like we don't ever, as it's kind of been mentioned on the call, we definitely don't want anyone to kind of tip over that work-life balance. And one of the big things is we have our mental health network as well. So I know with the mental health network, we have like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's like Ray of Sunshine calls or like people that you can reach out onto the network and things like that as well, who can kind of guide you along things. We also do our badges, and so even our badges aren't just development skills; they're also like personal skills. So you know, there's badges in like mindfulness and well-being as well. So you can even kind of develop your own kind of self-management skills as well, but you also get that support. And as well, that's kind of one of the best things is about our buddy and our counselor systems. So if you don't even maybe want to go to your counselor, your buddies also there as well, and they can always signpost you. But there's definitely a lot of things that you can do in your role and kind of get involved in as well to kind of help you manage that.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we have time for at the moment because it's we are basically at time. But I just want to say thank you to our panel today. So thank you, Alexandra, Mojia, Gabrielle, and Ellie. Thank you for your time today and for talking to all the people on this lovely call. And thank you to my co-hosts Beth and Megan for your support today. If you do have any more questions, please feel free to reach out. My name's Sinead Johnson. You can reach me on LinkedIn, and also you can also email. You can also get in contact with the helpline if you have any questions about anything. But essentially, we're looking forward to receiving your applications for our programs, and we wish you the very best of luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, guys.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Good luck, everyone.
Look.
Bye now.
Bye.